Pavelski hands it off for Braun, a little behind him, makes the adjustment. They score! Tipped in front by Pavelski, and the Sharks respond. The other way. Pavelski shoots, save, they score! It deflects in. It's 4-1.
1, 2, 3, fire.
Here's Nieto. He's got an arrow for Marlowe. Score! Patrick Marlowe on the breakaway, and it's 3-0. Welcome back to Raleigh. Here's our starting goalies, brought to you by Honda this afternoon. Troy Grosenick, 25 years of age, making his NHL debut up from Worcester in the American League, where when he left, he led the league with 7 victories. His first NHL game here this afternoon against the backup for Carolina, but he's been so good, they think he could be a starter for them in the future. Anton Khudobin, 28 years of age. Todd McClellan and the Sharks looking to bounce back from a 2-1 loss yesterday in Columbus. And there's the new coach of the Canes, Bill Peters, former assistant in Detroit. The Canes also lost 2-1 on the road yesterday afternoon in Boston. So the teams are in the same boat from that standpoint. Both lost tight games, both traveled, and both are facing back-to-back situations here this afternoon. We're glad you're along here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Game number 20 of the season for the San Jose Sharks. They come in with a record of 9-8-2 with 20 points. Carolina 5-8-3. They have 13 points as the Sharks, again, are playing another team against the Eastern Conference. Of course, with all the road games and all the travel into this time zone, most of the games have been against Eastern teams. Sharks now 4-6-1 against the East.
And you know, the Carolina record isn't really indicative of how they've been playing lately. They're 5-8-3, but they started off the year 0-6-2, so they've been playing some good hockey lately.
Yeah, they did not win a game in October, but then got hot here in the month of November. Recently had a 5-game winning streak, and Cam Ward was in goal for all of those victories, and took the loss yesterday for them as they go with the backup Khudobin this afternoon. Eric Stahl, of whom we spoke in our open, number 12, on the puck behind the San Jose net, works it out to the wing. Now Stahl getting it back out on this top line with Yuri Tulusti. And a puck to center ice. Logan Couture unable to catch up. And now a collision in the neutral zone. We have a hand pass called and our first stoppage in play. Well, you look at the Sharks lines revealing at the top of your screen some changes. And Matt Nieto missing his first game of the season here this afternoon after he went heavily into the boards yesterday evening in Columbus. So Tyler Kennedy moves up into Nieto's spot on the second line with Marlowe and Couture, and Ty McGinn comes back into the lineup. He'll move on to that fourth line with Burish and Desjardins, and Matt Irwin's back in the lineup on defense today as Scott Hannon gets the day off. Tomas Hertl with Thornton and Pavelski. This top group remaining intact as Brent Burns takes his shot, and that one might have hit Pavelski as he was cutting through the middle. Here's Skinner with a break for Carolina. A good job, though, by Mueller to get back and pick him up, but the Sharks are going to get a penalty here. A hook is called. I thought Mirko Mueller caught up and made the play. We'll see who gets the minor penalty here for hooking for the Sharks.
Well, a good outlet pass by the Carolina Hurricanes. As we watch the referee, we're going to hear the call.
It's Pavelski on the hook here in the opening period.
Well, one outlet pass beat all the San Jose Sharks, and it was to Jeff Skinner, who's got good wheels out there, and Mirko Mueller closed him down, took away a scoring chance, showed off his speed a little bit early in this game.
So Pavelski for the hook at 1:42, and an early power play opportunity for Carolina, who are 12th on the power play in the league. Khudobin will set it up behind his net. Justin Falk, number 27. Terrific defenseman for Carolina, sending it up the right wing and right back out again, courtesy of Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Special teams, in some ways the difference last night for the Sharks in Columbus. The winning goal scored by the Blue Jackets on the power play, and the Sharks came up empty with the man advantage, including in the third period on a 4-minute power play. Nathan Gerbe sending it back to Falk at the line. Now the Canes trying to work it on this side of the ice. Riley Nash, number 20, down low. The shot saved by Grosenick. on the great chance there from Elias Lindholm, and Grosnick will freeze it.
Well, he heads off into the corner, and if he has any nerves, he's certainly not showing it. He's already made a couple of good saves. Nice little move by Riley Nash coming out of the corner. That was Grosnick taking away the bottom part of the net. Then there's a loose puck shot. Grosnick with the glove save, and he's into the game.
And the face-off staying in the Shark zone as Carolina continues on this power play here in this opening period. Fired down by Brent Burns. Trouble for Khudobin, and now James Sheppard. He'll get it to the net, and Khudobin with the save. Marlowe's there. Trying to work it back in front for Sheppard. He does, but his shot is blocked by Sekera. Sheppard gets it again and fires it wide. It rims all the way back to this side for Skinner. He has trouble with the rolling puck, chased by Marlowe, and he lost his glove somewhere along the way, Skinner did. Now Sekera for Carolina takes it in and looks to get set up. Eric Stahl facing the net, lays it off into the corner. Now back to the blue line, Sekera. And a nice play there by Desjardins. Needs some help from Demers, and together they can't quite get it out. Here's John Michael Lyles, the veteran. Knocked down with a stick by Brent Burns that sends it wide. Sekera still with it in the zone. Power play down to the final few seconds here. As it's Lyles again. Up top, Sekera's shot deflected off the high glass. Burns gets to it as he just bumped Talusti out of the way, and it's cleared down as Pavelski gives chase. The Sharks with a good kill.
Yeah, real good kill. Sticks in the lanes, taking away the shot lanes, and a nice finish there by Brent Burns, and a good clear to allow all the Sharks to change, get fresh guys out there.
I like the fact, too, that Grosnick saw a couple of shots already in the game, and he's in it, into it.
He's in it. Now you're just playing a game.
Justin Braun in. Khudobin will backhand it into the corner. Gleason booted it a little bit himself, but Pavelski fell, so he couldn't get on it. Now Ron Hainsey up to center ice. Joe Thornton back, and he'll look for Justin Braun on this side. Sharks have had their trouble against Carolina. The Canes have beaten San Jose 6 of the last 7 times, including 5 of the last 6 years. You look at the Carolina lineup, and it is identical to the lineup that Bill Peters had on the ice yesterday in that 2-1 loss to the Bruins. So no changes for Carolina. They're missing some key people, especially Alexander Semin up front, and Jordan Staal, Eric's brother. Jordan Staal recovering from a broken leg suffered in training camp or in the preseason, and he's still probably a couple of months away from coming back. Jay Harrison also out of their lineup, as Khudobin will send it into the corner.
They played a pretty good game against Boston yesterday. Gave up 2 goals in the first period.
Wingles a shot, Khudobin the save, and he'll cover up. Let's check our Lexus keys to the game.
First key tonight, don't get lulled to sleep. Randy just gave you the record the Sharks have had against this Carolina team. They've lost 5 of 6 here in Carolina. We saw them get lulled to sleep, I thought, a little bit in the second period yesterday. In Florida, we've seen it earlier this year against Buffalo, against some of the weaker teams. That can't happen. Second key tonight, inside the dots. Win those battles in front of the net. Net front presence.
Mueller backing away from pressure from Chris Terry, number 25. Back into the San Jose zone, and Grosnick's going to do the wise thing here and cover up and take a face-off. Troy is 25 years old, a native of Wisconsin, and he's got some family members in the rink here this afternoon, doesn't he, Jamie?
Scott and Jan, that's also known as Dad and Mum, are here. They flew in from Milwaukee. His younger brother Sean also flew in from Milwaukee. His fiancee Maggie's here from Worcester, and one of his uncles who lives in the DC area is also here. They all came in once he found out last night that he was going to be playing.
Grosnicks are from Brookfield, Wisconsin. Troy, not untypical of many college players in the U.S. A little bit of a late bloomer, an undrafted free agent when the Sharks signed him after he impressed many people with his play at Union College, where he took them to the Final Four a couple of years ago. They lost in the semifinals when it was in Tampa Bay to Ferris State. Also the first ever Union player to be a Hobey Baker finalist. To the net, and Grosnick, without his stick, had the post covered. Now he gets a stick from Tyler Kennedy, as Kennedy helping out his goalie, and he made a save with it. That might be the first save made with that Tyler Kennedy stick ever.
He does anything in nets. That's awesome.
Gerby now, and another save by Grosnick. Braun knocked down as the puck gets back through the neutral zone, and now Grosnick has his stick back, and he drops Kennedy's. There's sticks all over the place. One of the referees trailing the play picks up Kennedy's stick, gets it out of the way. Grosnick with a stick save there. As the Hurricanes coming on here in this opening period in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Down low, a pass to the net. That was dangerous with Stahl in front on that feed from Brad Malone. And here's Malone again. He one-hands it behind the Sharks net, picked up by Brent Burns.
That's exactly how he drew it up. He figured he'd be using one of the forward sticks here in the first 10 minutes of his first game.
Time again, offside as he broke toward the Carolina net. Troy Grosnick looking sharp here in the early going. Carolina played a 1 o'clock Eastern time game in Boston yesterday afternoon. Here's a recap. They got on the board first. Yuri Tulusti on the deflection, his 7th of the year. But then the Bruins would tie it. And Seth Griffith is going to get credit for that one. That one stung because Carolina was really dominating the game, especially in the first period. Then Brad Marchand to Patrice Bergeron. That would be your winner. At 19:10 of the third, 2-1 the final score as the Canes just couldn't get that equalizer, and the Sharks know what that's all about, as the same thing happened to San Jose last night.
Yeah, they had shot Boston 15-4 in the third period.
So they're looking for a comeback, try to get back on track after they had that winning streak earlier in the month, and stay in the hunt in the NHL's Eastern Conference. Carolina going into today 5 points out of a playoff spot. Sharks in the number 8 spot and only 4 points out of the top 3 in the division. Right now San Jose in a wild card spot. As Demers will play one to the net, knocked aside by Khudobin with his blocker. Pavelski can't catch it. Coming across his hurdle, but Carolina will move it back up through center ice. Lindholm, and he wanted Gerby, who was dragging that back foot. No way he was going to stay onside. Sharks get it back. 12:15 to go here in period 1 as James Shepard sends it to the front of the net. It hit the skate of Wingels. Now sorted out by Hainsey, and across to his defense partner Brett Belmore, number 73. Shepard leaving it on the boards right in front of the Carolina bench. Justin Braun now, and the Hurricanes will get a quick change here. Entry pass to Wingels, and he goes upstairs with a shot that's just too high. Belmore back over to Hainsey. A couple of Sharks in on the forecheck, including Barclay Goodrow. Here's a pass far side, and it's just off the stick of Victor Rask, who played against Tuukka Rask yesterday in Boston. There's a shot saved by Grosnick, and from the point, Gleason to Lyles. Into the corner. Burns releases from the front of the net, steers it up the boards, and it's jammed out of there by Goodrow.
Grosnick did a good job of just holding tight on that right post. Made what could have been a tough save very easy. And he looks very confident in the nets for the San Jose Sharks.
Grosnick up to replace the injured Alex Stalock, who's back in the Bay Area, had a lower body procedure that's going to keep him out for an undetermined amount of time. A near steal at the front of the Carolina net, and now Kennedy wants Marleau, but it just slowed down enough for Gleason to get it, and the Canes come back up ice. Good work by Matt Irwin at the line. And here's Irwin carrying the puck across center. Khudobin out behind the Carolina net. Andre Sekera, and Kennedy got in the way of that. Here's Couture off a skate in front. It hit Falk. Irwin with the big shot. He just missed. Demers back into the corner. Marleau gets a body on the defenseman Sekera. Here's Kennedy. Bumped down to the ice. Apparently not hooked or cross-checked to the ice by Jay McClement.
Kennedy only one of 3 guys who scored a goal in the last 4 games for the Sharks. Pavelski has 3, Thornton 2, and Kennedy the other one.
And the shot by Falk, gloved by Grosnick. Well, get into the holiday spirit at Sharks Ice. The 3 locations around the Bay Area, San Jose, Fremont, and Oakland, all hosting spectacular holiday skating celebrations. Skate to your favorite holiday tunes in a cozy festive setting, November 22nd through January 4th. Go to sharksice.com for details. We're going to feel like we're in the holiday spirit later on tonight. The Sharks head from here to Buffalo, where Winter has arrived.
It has arrived and may continue to be coming in the next few days. The weather report has notified us.
Final game of a 7-game road trip for the Sharks. But that's then. This is now. The Hurricanes on the menu here this afternoon.
Both teams, you can see them kind of finding their legs now 10 minutes into this first period. Neither team had morning skate this morning. Both teams played and traveled yesterday.
Does it make much difference that Carolina played at 1 and the Sharks played at 7?
If they win, huge difference. If not, none.
Okay. 6 hours is 6 hours, and when you don't have that much time to recover, every bit helps.
You know what? It does make a little bit difference when you can go to bed at 10 or 11 as opposed to rolling in after midnight and takes a little bit to fall asleep.
Desjardins, and that deflects off Gleason, who then cross-check Desjardins, and they go at each other again. And quickly the linesmen jump in as Desjardins didn't like that little extra shot from Gleason. Now, the Sharks have had longer road trips than 7 games. When Daryl Sutter was the coach, they had a 9-game trip. But here is the tally so far through the first 5. This is Game 6. Sharks are 2-3 so far on the trip, with the final game in Buffalo Tuesday. And look at the note at the bottom. The Sharks are the first team in NHL history to play 15 of their first 20 games on the road.
With some back-to-backs and early starts. I walked out of my hotel room today. I didn't know where the elevator was. I went the wrong way. Can't remember my hotel room number.
That's the big challenge. Quick, what's your hotel room number? I have no idea.
What floor are we on?
Got to carry that little pouch around that has the room number on it. Otherwise, you're in big trouble.
Hey, you get through this part of the schedule, this is tough. I mean, we hear it from all the other media. They're like, we've never seen anything like this. But after this road trip, there's a lot of home games and not a whole lot of travel coming for the next few months.
Sharks on the move here as Desjardins tries to thread the needle through to Adam Burish. Now time again, just out of the reach of Desjardins, and Gleason will play it ahead as the Canes come through center. Malone, brother of Ryan Malone of the New York Rangers. And now Desjardins again. And McGinn can't get to that. Sharks will get a quick line change. We're in the first period live in Raleigh at PNC Arena. The Sharks' one and only visit here this season. Troy Grosenick making his NHL debut in goal for the Sharks. Stops that long-range bid from the right point from Falk. And now Marleau with a good read as he got it away from Skinner. But it's turned back over to the net. Grosenick to save. Another save, and then the shot off the outside of the net as Troy Grosenick made a great right pad stop to keep this scoreless.
No, he's hanging tight in here. Shots 11-3 right now for Carolina. The best player for the Sharks has been their goaltender.
Kennedy overskates it at center. It was Couture who gave that puck away up at the blue line, and the Canes came right back and put the pressure on the Sharks rookie goalie.
He challenges, he stays deep in the blue paint, he takes away the bottom part of the net, he uses Tyler Kennedy's stick.
Now another chance for Carolina as Tulosti ran into his own teammate. Back behind the net is Stahl, but Tulosti has it in the corner to Eric Stahl. Demers trying to interfere. Now Hainsey from the point to the middle, and a scoop shot there from Tulosti just wide.
Sharks need to track a little bit quicker in the defensive zone, sort out who they're taking. Standing around a little bit too much right now watching Carolina.
Tulosti, Zach Boychuk trying to pick it up off the glass. Irwin's there. So is Demers. Leans on Stahl. And James Shepard will try and turn and skate it out of trouble. Cannot. Back to the front of the net. Blocked. Hainsey reaching back. Diving out to try and clear is Barclay Goodrow. It's still in the zone. Tulosti with it now, but there's a whistle and a hand pass called against Carolina. Tonight's saves of the game brought to you by RGP, consulting from the inside out.
And why not get the RGP saves of the game early? Look at Troy Grosenick getting that pad and his stick this time and the blocker. We're going to get an overhead look at him. Look at him getting, he looks a little bit like Dominic Hasek, who's going to be in the Hall of Fame induction tomorrow, actually, up in Toronto.
Grosenick, good size. He's 6'1", 190. He looks taller than 6'1", the way he stretched out there. Got that right leg pad on that great opportunity for Victor Rask. And as you pointed out, Grosenick busy and has been the best Shark in the period so far with 11 saves. Shot in by Falk. Now Thornton's line out, and Joe will send it up to Hurdle. On to Pavelski. Broken up by Sekera. Andre Sekera. Looking up ice for Lindholm. Shoulder to shoulder with Marc-Edouard Vlasic.
I don't know if there's been any goalie in recent memory that was more unconventional than Hasek, but he made the saves. And we've seen a little bit of that from Grosenick here in the first period.
Kirby, he'll bring it in onside, throw it at the net, and Grosenick with the save. Visit CSNCalifornia.com to read up on Kevin Kerr's latest articles and check out highlights, the shot of the game, and much more. You can also follow Kersey on Twitter at KKersCSN. A look from up high here at PNC Arena. Randy Hahn with Jamie Baker. Here with Brody Brazil and Curtis Brown back in the studio on this Sunday afternoon here in North Carolina.
They installed a new LED lighting system here this summer. First of its kind in an NHL venue in the United States.
State of the art. About a $500,000 light bulb or two. Looks good. This is good light for you,
This is
Jamie.
great. This is, yes, thank you. The lighting is really, really helping us.
Mueller and the Sharks trying to get it out, but can't. As it comes to the point, Gleason shot wide. Lindholm will pick it up off the backboard. Sends it back to John Michael Lyles. What a career he's enjoyed, Lyles. Now in his 14th season in the NHL. The wrister blocked by Burish. And Adam Burish will try to send this down the ice and avoid icing. He does not. So it's going to come back into the Shark zone.
Head coach of Carolina, Bill Peters, 48 years old, 13th head coach in the history of this organization, 4th here in Carolina. He wants his team to have better starts. He's been talking about it. There's Bill Peters.
They went through quite a transformation here in the offseason. New general manager, new head coach.
They are working on a lot of things here. I have a little quote I'll share with you when I get a chance from the Hockey News, the 2014-15 yearbook. There's legendary Rob Brindamore, the captain here when they won the Stanley Cup.
Another Stanley Cup champion on their bench as well, Steve Smith, who won it with the Edmonton Oilers.
I'm trying to change the culture and get some more accountability.
Burish ends up on the deck. Sharks need a clear here. This group's been on a while, and then the icing as Grosenick makes the blocker save off Hainsey. And it comes back to the corner now. And Desjardins. Rask keeps it in. And Hainsey again off Burish skate. He tries to clear it. His stick snaps in half, but he does get it out for a line change. Skinner for Carolina. Trying to go down Brent Burns' side of the ice. So far in this period, most of the plays been in the Shark zone. Ron Hainsey cross ice, and he had Skinner as Grosenick reaches up and snatches that shot from the wing from Belmore. Still scoreless here in Carolina. Just over 4.5 to go in the first period here in Carolina. Time for our McDonald's True Stories. Talking goaltending, talking notable first NHL starts ever for Sharks goalies of the past. Artur Urbe won his debut in '91. Evgeny Nabokov, one of the more interesting first ever starts. He had a shutout but didn't get the win. That was before they went to overtime back in 2000, and both Patrick Roy and Nabokov had shutouts in a 0-0 tie. Kiprusoff a winner, Toskala as well, and Alex Stalock last year 38 saves in a 5-2 win at Ottawa. As we look at some of those great goaltenders of the Sharks in the past, there's your old buddy, like Wall, Artur Urbe.
Not necessarily the most conventional goalie. There's the battler himself, Evgeny Nabokov.
Saw him the other night in Tampa.
Vesa Toskala, I think he's retired, living in Finland now. And
now we have Troy Grosenick joining that group of Sharks goaltenders making their NHL debut, and it's been a good debut period for Grosenick. 14 saves already for the 25-year-old Sharks goaltender. Tyler Kennedy playing up on this line today with Logan Couture and Patrick Marleau in the absence of Matt Nieto, who was shaken up last night in Columbus. Now Kennedy. Checked by Belmore, trying to squirm out of that contact, and he does. Marleau a quick shot, and that deflects off the glass. Back behind the net is Couture. He gets a rough ride back there. From the point, the wrist shot by Erwin Block. That's Lindholm there. And cleared back as it is Jason Demers giving chase.
Good work down in the corner by Tyler Kennedy, kind of spinning around and made a nice pass up to Marleau in the high slot.
Mistake by Demers. Right on it are the Canes. Sekera hands it off up top for Falk. Now they work it down into the corner. And a penalty coming up as the Hurricanes, on that one little miscue by Demers, end up drawing a penalty, and they'll get a power play as a result.
He knows it. He went right to the penalty box, Jason Demers. And get a high sticking penalty. You can see it right there. And the Carolina player just fell. Well, we see the second power play opportunity for the Carolina Hurricanes. A little bit different of a breakout. They bring all 5 guys back, and then their puck carry comes up the middle, and he can kick it out to the right side or left. He's got 2 options on each side. San Jose have to adjust to that. Haven't seen that type of a power play breakout this year.
Canes go to work. Sekera, number 4. Lyles is on the other point. Up top, number 26. Andre Sekera hands it off. Skinner leaned in for a shot and left the puck behind. Desjardins kind of stepped on it after he'd lost his stick.
Yeah, he was just putting his head up, Skinner was, to take a look where he was going to shoot. Whiffed on it.
Jeff Skinner, 33 goals last year after he had a couple of declining seasons. Nice bounce back year for him. Although this team as a group have had trouble scoring goals this year. That's probably been the one biggest area of concern for them. Not goaltending so much or defense. It's been generating offense. Sharks have scored only 3 goals in the last 2 games combined. 1 last night, and then 2 was good enough to win in Tampa. Eric Staal off his back skate, couldn't get it to the stick, cleared back down. Marleau in on the forecheck. Puck carried back out. Burns from the corner. And now Marleau, and he gets by Falk, and Patrick Marleau with some ice down the wing. Looks back, takes a shot, Khudobin the save.
One of the better chances for the Sharks this period. Short-handed one for Marleau.
Mueller down there wasting time, down to 20 seconds now on this Carolina power play. And we're inside the under 2-minute mark as well. Burish shoots, and it ramps off Hainsey high and wide. Gathered in by Jay McClement, number 18. He'll get it back into the Shark zone. And now out of play. And the Sharks have killed the Demers penalty.
Well, we'll take a look at the Carolina power play as it's frozen right now. Let's roll it. You can see all 5 guys back, and then the center puck carrier, he's going to come up, and you're going to have 2 players on each side. He's coming right down the middle, and they'll dump it around. That's a hard rim, and then you can see 4 Carolina Hurricanes coming over to create an overload on the strong side. San Jose did a good job of negating them on that last Carolina power play, but a little bit of a different power play look from the Hurricanes.
Shot wide from the point. Back to 5-on-5 action here in the first period. A 2-on-1. Hertl with Thornton. Hertl the pass. Blocked. Hertl again. He scores! Tomas Hertl finds a way, and it's 1-0 Sharks.
Well, Tomas Hertl wanted to pass the puck to Joe Thornton. He looks there, doesn't pass, comes back, wants to pass, does pass. The D takes away the pass, and it falls right on the doorstep to Hertl. And that's why you go to the net, folks, right there. You go to the net, you go to the net, and he just kind of knocks it home underneath Khudobin, and the Sharks have a 1-0 lead. All those big saves by Troy Grosenick pay off now. A good opportunity, 2-on-1 after a breakdown. Sharks lead 1-0.
4th of the season for Tomas Hertl. And the Sharks have the first goal of the game, and if it holds up here, it was going to be a huge lift for them going into the dressing room. And you're right, Grosnick's play early, the penalty killing collectively, and then Hertl comes through there as he got a good bounce off Sekera, who blocked the pass to Thornton, and Tomas stayed with it.
Yeah, there it is. We got just a glimpse of his smile. He loves scoring. Look at that. That's awesome. I love his passion, the way he just brings it every day to the rink.
The assist goes to Barclay Goodrow for his first NHL point.
All kinds of firsts going on here. Great stuff.
1-0 Sharks. Here's Skinner for Carolina. Dumps it to the crease, but it was knocked down. Now a wraparound try, and Grosnick dives out. He covers that. As the Canes were whacking away, Chris Terry there trying to do what Hertl did at the other end.
Talked to Todd McClellan this morning. He said one of the big areas that he was, addressing with his team was the net play and the way that Carolina will attack and re-attack the net. And we've seen it countless times. And Grosnick keeps stopping and stacking up as we get a look at James Sheppard gets shaken up there. I didn't see what happened. That's something looks like it in the face.
Yeah, shaken up, and he's got the left eye closed. Yeah. He may have got a stick in the eye.
Or something. Yeah, he wears a visor too. It might have come in underneath. I didn't see it. I was watching Grosnick on the play.
Head trainer Ray Tufts assisting Sheppard off the ice for further evaluation. So again, Todd McClellan will have to adapt, as he did last night when Matt Nieto went down after a hard hit. Hopefully Sheppard's able to return. Down under the final minute here in this opening period. A period dominated by Carolina, certainly on the shot counter. But it's the Sharks with the lead. Some good special teams play by San Jose, along with perfect goaltending so far from Troy Grosnick in his NHL debut. Matt Irwin pursued into the zone by Rask. Now Couture waits. Marleau trying to get to the net. It skips through. Khudobin will glove it. And with 16 to go in the period, the Sharks will send another line over the boards for this face-off in Carolina territory.
Well, the Sharks, some of their young blood, making their presence felt here in this Sunday afternoon game. 5 o'clock start here in North Carolina. 2 o'clock back home in the Bay Area. Tomas Hertl has scored a goal by just going to the net on that 2-on-1. Got an assist from Goodrow. Grosnick in nets.
Tomas turned 21 on Wednesday. Goodrow's 21. Yep, that's the Sharks' young blood. They combined on that goal. And 25-year-old Troy Grosnick doing the job between the pipes in this opening period. Mirko Mueller's just going to kill the rest of this first period behind the net, and that'll do it. As Tomas Hertl has given the Sharks the lead heading to the dressing room in front of some pretty nifty goaltending in his first period of NHL action by Grosnick. That's the end of one. Sharks 1, Carolina nothing. Coming up on our Ram Intermission Report, Brody and Curtis Brown standing by in the studio with a Sportsnet Central update, and then more from Bakes and Me here.
Sharks Hockey on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Max Muscle Sports Nutrition. Come in for a free nutrition evaluation today.
That's the bell tower at North Carolina State, nearby the PNC Arena, where the Sharks lead the Carolina Hurricanes 1-0. There is Troy Grosnick, who had a perfect first period for the San Jose Sharks. We mentioned his parents are here. They flew in from Milwaukee. His fiancée Maggie is here as well. She made the trip from Worcester. Maggie has her own business in Worcester. She makes bow ties for dogs and sells them. Of course she does.
Of course she does. That's a niche product. And in Worcester, you have to assume there's probably a few other businesses but the competition is good.
I'll tell you one thing. Worcester is known for having the best dressed dogs in the country. Quirky goalies? Yeah, most goalies are. There's Tomas Hertl. He's got the Sharks a goal, and now let's see if the Sharks can build on that first period that was really highlighted by the goaltending and the penalty killing. Logan Couture wants Patrick Marleau. He's in some traffic there. And now Couture trying to get it away from Riley Nash, number 20. A shot whipped off a skate that comes back to center.
Nash been one of the most consistent players for the Carolina Hurricanes this year. Get an offside on San Jose. Take a look at Nash, one of the young players for the future. struggled the last couple of games, but otherwise been playing a good game for a centerman at both ends of the ice. You can see his point totals there, 12 points in 17 games. Good 200-foot game and getting more comfortable in the NHL.
This franchise has missed the playoffs the last 5 years in a row, and when they missed it last season, they made massive changes. We talked about the coaching change with Bill Peters there now, and a new general manager, Ron Francis, former NHL great,
Hall of Famer,
replacing Jim Rutherford, who ended up becoming the general manager of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Justin Falk, a shot, Grosenick a pad save. Falk again, and gobbled up in front by Mirko Mueller.
Good lead there by Mueller, fronting the forward for Carolina and breaking up that play.
Peters replacing Kirk Muller on the coaching side of things. And Sekera's shot saved by Grosenick, and he got a quick whistle there as the puck was still maybe free as it was picked up by Zach Boychuk, but the referee not in position to see that.
He's having fun out there. You can see a little smile on his face. San Jose a little bit soft there in the defensive zone, backing in. He had 4 guys back, but Grosenick to the rescue, made the save, got the whistle. Oh yeah, he's having fun. You can see it in his eyes. Had a little smile on his face.
And you know the culture, Jamie. You've been in it. You've been in this spot playing in your first game. The rest of the guys know how excited you are too, and you could tell on the bus. And I'm sure when they had their own time in the dressing room before this game, there is just a lot of excitement in the building and in that dressing room, because you know this guy is realizing a lifelong dream. You're playing in the NHL for the first time.
You know what? It brings every guy back to his first game. You know, for a few moments, you remember that first game.
I remember mine as a broadcaster. Sharks lost 9-0. Matt Irwin a shot, and that's into traffic.
You set the bar low.
Yeah.
There was room for improvement.
Yes, it wouldn't get worse than that, would it? It never did. Well, actually, maybe once in Colorado. Sharks, good pressure here in the offensive zone to start this second period, but now some open ice for the Hurricanes. Skinner leans back. Grosenick the save, and the rebound kicked out on that far side to Victor Rask. Now Falk comes back in, but they say he is offside.
Vlasic having a chat with his D partner, Braun. Braun just made a real nice defensive play clearing that puck. San Jose's going to have to tighten up a little bit here in the neutral zone. So it's early in the second, but we've seen 2 instances where they've been forced to back in. Actually, the first time they weren't forced to back in. That last one it was, because it was a bit of a 3-on-2. So both Vlasic and Braun had to back in. And I thought Braun did a good job of keeping an eye on his man and the puck, breaking up that play.
Braun will go across to Marc-Edouard Vlasic. For the most part, these two have been together from game 1 as a defense pair. A couple of games ago, Todd McKellen broke them up just to try and get some success from some of the other D-men, get them going.
That lasted, what, half a game maybe?
Yep. Burish on the far side. Sekera gets there first, and now bobbling it is Braun. Loose in front. Grosenick just calmly held his ground. Belmore, and that's blocked. And McGinn will take it down the left wing side for the Sharks. Drop pass and a nice one for Desjardins. He'll shoot and save by Khudobin.
Okay.
Well, out of a block there, the Sharks create a scoring chance.
I like this little play from Time again. He comes up and strong side support. He looked over his shoulder. You can see Desjardins following up. That backs in the D. Little indirect pass off the boards. Jay Woodcroft saying that it's exactly what he's saying. Good job. You attack with speed. Support from Desjardins. Sharks get their first scoring chance here of the second period.
McGinn not in the lineup yesterday, so the Sharks get some fresh legs for this matinee here this afternoon. 5 o'clock start here Pacific or Eastern Standard Time. 2 o'clock Pacific. Quick turnaround for the Sharks, and they'll have tomorrow off in Buffalo. Here's Nathan Gervey now for the Canes, and a save by Grosenick. Gervey trying to place it back in front. He jets back up the ice on the back check against Burns. Burns gets through. Burns pass blocked by by the sliding Ron Hainsey. That may have saved a goal.
Well, that's one of those ones you're really cheering for because you know that's going to be a highlight of the night. What a play by Burns.
And a shot by Gerby deflects up high and into the screen, out of play. Well, the Sharks will finally be home this coming Thursday, hosting the Florida Panthers, and it will be an authentic fan Thursday. Buy a special ticket in our special Section 226. You'll receive a special Sharks authentic t-shirt. Sharks and Panthers, Thursday at 7:30 p.m. That's linesman Greg Kimmerly, or referee Greg Kimmerly. And Kevin Pollock also working, along with Darren Gibbs and Brian Mock today.
Get a nice close-up of the face-off. Guy's going in there. Good face-off by Pavelski.
That was Brian Mock, the linesman, of course, dropping the puck. Got my Kimmerleys mixed up with my Mocks. Don't mock me.
There'll be no mocking.
Chase down at center ice, and Braun back with Vlasic. Thornton there, gets it to Pavelski. He's got a break down the right side for Hurdle. And just coming in the back check was Toulouse to break it up. Hurdle down there with Pavelski. Thornton arrives, puck played up the near boards for Boychuk, but Vlasic kept it in. Now blocked to Eric Stahl. Stahl, Boychuk. He looks at the net, shoots it wide. And it's fired by Thornton all the way down. This will be wide of the goal, icing against San Jose.
Joe Pavelski, 3 goals in the last 6 games. And he gets I wouldn't necessarily call it a 2-on-1. Right idea. And your call was right on. Toulouse got a stick in there as Pavelski tried to hit Tomas Hurdle. Hurdle going for his 2nd goal of the game.
Carolina, good face-off team. 4th in the NHL coming into the day.
San Jose really struggled in the circle last night.
Better in the first period here, 50%. Skinner dancing around the net. Such a great skater, gifted skater. Sends it out front, and it kicks back out to Joe Pavelski. Skinner comes back to tie up Pavelski's stick, and he gets it out to center, but no further.
Skinner won the bronze medal at the 2004 Skate Canada Junior Nationals. Figure skating as a young child. It's obviously paying off here at the NHL level.
And Grosnick with the save. Fires the rebound wide. Skinner again behind the net against Irwin. And now Shepard. James Shepard to Marc-Edouard Vlasic. 1-0 Sharks. We're in the 2nd period. Live in Carolina. Barclay Goodrow with a shot. That one fooled Khudobin. Kind of a knuckleball that just went over his glove. Good work on the boards by the Sharks here. Shepard wanted Goodrow in front of the net. Now Goodrow whips one to the goal again, and Khudobin doesn't like what's going on in his zone. He covers up as Jeff Skinner scored his 100th NHL goal the other night, Jamie.
4th quickest in Carolina history, and it's his edge work. He's got absolutely phenomenal edge work. He's quick. You see him come into the soft spot there. He's going to catch that puck on his forehand and go far side. What a release. And you know, people say, oh, he's got a great shot or great hands, but the balance you have to be skating to your right, to catch the puck in front of you, get the puck over to your left and go far side, that's all balance and weight transfer. And that's having superior edge work, and he showed off those skills right there.
He's missed a bit of time. This is his 13th game, and it's the Hurricanes' 17th as a club. 3 goals on the year for Skinner. Talked about the scoring woes of Carolina. They have only 2 players in double-digit points. The Sharks have 6. Mirko Mueller ahead for time again off his back skate. Now the Canes come back in and set up. Grosnick to save. A long-range shot from Malone. Desjardins for Burish. Adam Burish, he's got Desjardins with him. As they'll get a line change on the deep pass to Desjardins behind the net. Marleau waiting on a pass from Kennedy. Broken up. Nash, far side. Gerby back in front. And it was Lindholm. Couldn't get a stick on it. Desjardins looking to get off. The rest of his mates have changed up. Sharks with the puck in the offensive zone. Jason Demers to Patrick Marleau to Tyler Kennedy. And now Irwin. Back around. Demers behind the net. Couture and Marleau with his speed gets there to keep it alive. Now Logan Couture, Tyler Kennedy working behind the goal line. A pass and a shot there by Marleau, and he didn't get it cleanly as it went wide and high. Nice playmaking though by this new line. Couture with Marleau and Tyler Kennedy.
The Sharks trying to establish a bit of a forecheck. One, to get some scoring chances, get a little offensive zone time, but secondly, maybe draw a penalty. We haven't had a power play opportunity yet this game.
Off Grosnick's stick. And now Stahl gets it back. He'll try and whip one to the goal. It goes all the way across to the far side. Lyles out of the corner, sending it behind the net for Stahl. Irwin's there, shadowing Eric Stahl, the Canes captain. Lyles. On this side, it's Gleason. And with a stick down in front, Tulosti couldn't make contact.
A lot of movement by Carolina in the offensive zone. They're throwing pucks to the top of the crease looking for redirects. San Jose have to keep an eye on that.
Lyles. Wanted Boychuk in the slot, and it's batted out with his glove by Kennedy.
And a good heads-up play there by Kennedy. Get the puck out into the neutral zone. Those guys were tired. Their shift had gone about a minute and 20.
Shots are 25-8 for Carolina. Stahl in front. Good play by Thornton to get back, help protect the net as he stole it from Tulosti, and now plays it ahead. 1-0 Sharks on the Tomas Hertl goal. The shoot in by Matt Irwin. All the way to Hertl on the far side. He'll look behind the net for Pavelski. Falk got there first, but Hertl in front of him gets it back. Now down in the corner, it is Thornton. Joe Thornton back to Justin Braun. He's going to have to bail out of the zone and handle it carefully here as he backs in defensively, assisted by Marc-Edouard Vlasic. And Sekera will send it across into the Carolina zone off a Carolina stick. Here's Hertl from Pavelski. And now James Shepard pulls it off the boards for Hertl. Back to Shepard. His shot blocked. And Sekera for Carolina. 11 minutes left here in the second period. 1-0 Sharks on the 4th of the year from Tomas Hertl. Set up by Barclay Goodrow with his first NHL point.
Yep, congratulations to Barclay Goodrow. Still looking for that first goal.
Shepard with Wingle. Onside. Shepard shot off a defender's stick and up out of play. We'll step aside here in Carolina. Back at PNC Arena in Carolina as we check this date in hockey history, November 16th of 03. The day the Sharks traded goalie Mika Kiprusoff to Calgary, they got a second-round draft pick for him in the 05 draft. That pick became Marc-Edouard Vlasic. So in the long term, that sounds like a great trade, but in the short term, it was hard to swallow because Kiprusoff backed Calgary all the way to the Stanley Cup final that year and knocked out the Sharks in the conference final.
That's exactly why you can't necessarily judge or evaluate a trade right when it happens. You can have an opinion.
We think those folks you saw there are the Grosnick clan from Wisconsin. We'll know for sure after the game when hopefully we'll get a chance to meet them. 1-0 Sharks in front here. Almost halfway through this one in Carolina. Patrick Marleau gets some room, gets the puck toward Couture. Kept in by Mirko Mueller. Burns down the boards. Kennedy. Burns gets it back. Tried the hard backhand play to Couture, who was up at the point. Didn't get there. But now Mueller's able to get it back in the zone. And rookie defenseman Mirko Mueller back. Now as he's watched by Elias Lindholm. Hurricanes will get a line change here as their bench is closest to the San Jose net in the second period. Fired in by Mueller. Burish, McGinn, and Desjardins out on the ice together as Desjardins' shot deflects. In front, and that is picked up by the Canes. Here's a breakout pass to Boychuk on the near wing. He'll leave it for Tulosti. Yuri Tulosti. Boychuk saved by Grosnick. That's his best one of the game so far. Still 1-0 Sharks. Let's get that last save. Our forward right choice.
Well, here's a 2-on-2 situation. And Grosnick reads it absolutely perfectly. Makes that great save on Zach Boychuk. There's the pass, and there's the right pad save. He got all the way over. Good left leg push. Taking away the bottom part of the net. That was his best save of this second period. He made a bunch of dandy saves in the first period.
26th save of the game. Just point that past the halfway point as Antti Niemi looks on at the San Jose bench, dressed as the backup today with Alex Stalock back in the Bay Area, recovering from a minor procedure. And Troy Grosnick making his NHL debut here. He's been around the team for 3-4 days now, and I think that's been good. Acclimate him, get some morning skate, if not that much practice time.
They had a short practice there 2 days ago on Friday.
He certainly looked comfortable. Pavelski wins the draw. And all the way to center is Joe Thornton. Nice little backhand lead for Pavelski. Pavelski trying to get it to the net. Stopped from doing so by Victor Rask. Justin Fault, and Pavelski gets body position on him. Canes clear it to center. Vlasic carefully against Chris Terry. And a nice breakout play to Hertl. And across for Braun. He'll take it off the boards, get it in, and the Sharks will get a defense change. Hertl unable to hold it in the zone, and that allows Terry to get it back into San Jose territory. 8:40 left in the second period. Jason Demers for Barclay Goodrow. For Tommy Wingels. To Shepard, but they are offside. I'll celebrate the upcoming Thanksgiving season with Sharks hockey with a Thanksgiving 3-pack. You get tickets to 3 great games and a Sharks draft hat. A limited amount of Sharks Thanksgiving 3-packs available. Go to sjsharks.com or the number on your screen. The holiday season fast approaching.
Very, very much so.
Feels like autumn here in Carolina. A lot of people out with the leaf blower today.
Some Caniacs here before we got to the game. We do a bit of tailgating here in Carolina.
They're famous for it. Not too many NHL cities are set up for it as far as winter weather and parking lot area, but it's perfect here.
It is perfect. Works out on its own a little bit.
Nice play in the neutral zone by Goodrow to Shepard. Now Goodrow forced down to the ice, and a penalty coming up here to Carolina. Malone's going to go. Sharks get Grosnick out for an extra skater. Mueller shot through to the net, and Khudobin will cover it up after he made the save. So Brad Malone, just a little too aggressive there, is going to the penalty box.
Carolina penalty number 24, 2 minutes, hooking.
And that was Goodrow, who's picked up his first NHL point and assist. And he's holding off Malone here, trying to get his head up. And you can see the stick in between his legs. He's got it right in between. That could have easily been a trip. He draws a penalty. The first power play opportunity for the Sharks here.
Comes at 12:08 to the second period. Malone for the hook.
You know, coaches from the other teams are telling their players to be very disciplined against the Sharks power play. It's been hot lately.
Couture to Thornton. Sharks looking for an insurance goal here, up 1-0. Pavelski off his stick, but cleared only to the line, not out. Thornton will change sides to Burns. Now to Couture, and up top his shot is high. Comes off the glass right down in front in the slot, and Carolina is able to clear it as Couture touches it after the high touch from Burns, and we'll have a face-off outside of the Carolina zone.
Well, we hear of lively boards. That's lively glass. Came off the back of the glass out over the front of the net. There's Burns, high stick in the puck. He's got great hand-eye coordination. He knocks pucks out of the air all the time. It's incredible how skilled Brent Burns is for a big guy. He's got fast hands. He's got good hands.
Face-off, it's Thornton, and he will send it back. Sharks power play began the day 7th in the NHL. 14 power play goals so far. Couture leaving it at the point. It is stolen. McClement ahead. Back to McClement, but Marleau was there to cover as he picked off the Patrick Dwyer pass. Thornton back the other way with Pavelski and Marleau, who shoots, Saved by Khudobin, and that's his best save of the game off Patrick Marleau.
And that's a heck of a shift there on the power play for Patrick Marleau. Starts with a great back check, and then he joins the rush, finds a soft spot, great pass and release, and Khudobin makes the save. Thornton, you can see him waiting, stops up. He's looking the whole time. He was waiting for Pavelski to go to the net to draw 2 defenders down there. Opens up the mid-slot area. Perfect pass from Thornton to Marleau and a great save.
Marleau with 5 goals on the year, but just 1 in his last 14 games. They came early, and he's gone through a bit of a cold spell here. That was a grade A chance for Marleau there.
Talking to him the other day, he said, you know, just keep getting chances. He's been around long enough. You know, hot spells, cold spells.
It's actually been part of his career for many years. He has had those stretches. A 2-on-1 here, shorthanded for Carolina. They're really going for it here against the Sharks penalty kill.
Their line has been matched up for the most part against the other team's top lines, which means you're thinking defense first, looking at getting more points on the power play.
Half a minute to go on the Sharks power play. Burns. Now Thornton into the skates of Couture. And Dwyer will slap it to this side. McClement chips it out to center. One last chance on the entry here with the man advantage. Pavelski for Thornton. Gets it back from Logan Couture. Joe trying to weave through traffic. To the front of the net, the backhand save by Khudobin. Burns couldn't convert on the rebound. And his pass is blocked by McClement. And Carolina will carry it out after a penalty kill highlighted by a fine save from their goaltender, Khudobin off Marlin.
Yeah, he would have loved to have Sharks' first goal back, but he's made some good saves here in the second.
Stays a 1-0 San Jose lead. 5.5 to go in the second period. Malone in the slot. Gerby dangling, and then Burns got his stick in the way.
Yeah, just execution a little too slow for Gerby. Allowed San Jose to collapse on him and take away any opportunity for a shot.
26-11, the shots in favor of Carolina so far in the hockey game. At center. The pass for Skinner, and he fanned on it partially. There's Stahl, a drive. Grosnick to save. Lyles jumps in down at the goal line.
Tricky shot. Good save.
Burns can't clear. Skinner's shot blocked by Shepard. And Burrish will bang it out. It was Desjardins who blocked it. And now back to Gleason for Carolina. This will go wide of the San Jose net. Irwin around for Desjardins. This will stay into Eric Stahl. Back at the point and to this side for Falk. That's blocked with the shaft of his stick by McGinn. Lindholm. A tip by Desjardins, but it's not out. Sekera, number 4, to Lindholm. Puts on the brakes with Irwin there. Gets it back to Sekera. Carolina a quick change. And Desjardins interfering with things. Still in the zone, though, as Burns can't get it out. To the front of the net. Guarded well by Irwin, and he'll play it to time again.
Carolina, that was kind of a risky situation for the Sharks. Carolina had changed their forwards because the close change for them in the offensive zone against the Sharks' fourth line, who was tired.
And now a puck out of play with 3:53 left to go here in period 2 in Raleigh. It's time for the El Camino Hospital Focus on Winning.
Welcome to the house that Hetty built, folks. Oh yeah, Brad Hedican working with Dan Rusanowski over in the radio. There he is, got a smile on his face. A huge part of this team, the Carolina Hurricanes, that won the Stanley Cup. And oh, it's been just a love fest here today in Carolina. There's Hetty. Look at that picture with Christy and the kids sitting in the Stanley Cup. That's what it's all about, folks, right there.
And of course, when
it's awesome.
He had his day with the Cup, he took it back home to Minnesota, back to St. Cloud State, back to his old high school.
You ask anyone around here in Carolina, you ask, hey, Hetty's great. You know what they say? The best. He's the best. And he is. He's just a great human being.
Off the glove of Khudobin.
Pretty well, too.
And now Marleau with it. As the shot for Braun is caught. And the other thing about Brett Hedican, Stanley Cup champion, a tremendous athlete, tremendous player, but he's still only the second best skater at his house.
Right. Actually, he says his third. His daughter Emma participated in the Golden Moments show that Christy Yamaguchi put on a week or two ago back at SAP Center. What a highlight that was for the family.
Boy, there's some great skating genes in that family, huh?
You think?
Unbelievable. 1-0, the Sharks on top here. Under 3.5 to go in the second. Eric Stahl forcing the issue down the wing. Joe Thornton has it. Head up, as always. Then just missed on that pass to Pavelski at the blue line. There's not many players that even try that pass, but Joe Thornton does all the time because he knows he can make it. It just hopped a little bit.
His vision, takes a look over his shoulder. His on-ice awareness is superior to other players. And he's got the hands. And you can see he'd already looked. There he took another look and he waited.
It didn't miss by much.
Doesn't miss by much.
No.
He makes plays every game that we can't even, a lot of the times you can't even show it on TV. You have to almost be here live. But he'll make a pass that there's 4 or 5 players in the world that could do it. We are very blessed to have him, to been able to watch him for so long here in the San Jose Sharks.
Here's Pavelski as he got it off Sekera, and he's got Hurdle at the front of the net, but Sekera recovered enough to prevent that pass into a dangerous area. Mirko Mueller will throw it toward the goal. And Salusti back defensively with help from Justin Falk, and they'll get things sorted out here. Sharks have come on in this second period. Not saying they've taken the hockey game over, but it certainly hasn't been a period where they've spent quite so much time in their own end.
6 games and 9 nights. I think we're seeing a little bit of fatigue.
A chance in front for Gerby, but he never got the shot away. Now it's Skinner, and it skips by another Kane, Terry. As Desjardins will take it all the way back to the other end. He and Gleason collide. Lyles shoved off the puck by Wingles, and it squirts out to Ty McGinn. Lyles intercepts for Canes, and Sekera now will give it right back. Under 2 minutes to go in period 2.
You need your third and fourth lines going in games like this, too. The head coach has no choice but to play them because the Sharks have been playing so many games on the road, back-to-back games.
And the same for Carolina as well. Played yesterday in Boston, so Bill Peters has to pretty much do the same thing.
Andrew Desjardins, he's had a good, solid hockey game today. He's made some good plays in the defensive zone that shown some patience, and we just saw him join the forecheck, doing a good job down low. You can see the communication. He's talking right there. He and Burris are talking. We've asked him about that before, and he says, yeah, we'll get back after shifts. If you're gassed, you got to catch your breath first, but they talked about this, what just happened, what they need to do all the time.
Gerby's shot skipped in front of the net and then went wide to the corner. Wingles did not get it out. Now Lindholm, he's got Gerby in front. If he can get him, the puck can't. Shepard protecting that pass with his reach. Nicely done by James Shepard there. See if the Sharks can get this back out of the zone. And Wingles, who was guilty on the initial turnover, finally does get it out. And back down into Carolina territory.
Not sure exactly where he was going with that pass, but it worked out, so we'll say good play.
Dumped in by Ron Hainsey. And now Shepard takes his time, sizes things up. Then he takes a hit from Eric Stahl. Braun tries to get it through for Shepard. That's going to go all the way down for icing against the Sharks. 50.5 seconds to go here in the second period.
Sharks' overall team defense has been much better in the last few games. You go back to after that loss in Florida, they went in to play Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay had been averaging 4.7 goals per game in their previous 7 games. Sharks shut them down 2-1. Gave up 2 last night. None tonight. A lot has to do with the players. Out doing a good job in front of Grosnick, but man, he's made some big saves tonight. Shots 28-14 in favor of the Canes.
Sekera, that one redirects just wide. From the corner to Boychuk behind the net. He's checked by Braun. Comes off the boards with it for Stahl. In front, and Grosnick with that quick glove slows things down a bit here, and another face-off to come.
After that icing, San Jose had some guys that were a little bit tired. That was a good glove save there by Grosnick just to get the whistle. You can see the second Union College alum to start in NHL history. Steve Baker, the last, way back in 1983. Keith Kincaid has also been a backup with the New Jersey Devils. in the NHL. Only the second goalie in the history of Union playing the NHL.
There's got to be some Union folks watching the broadcast tonight, I would think, seeing one of their guys make his NHL debut.
Well, they were the national champions last year. And he's good friends with a bunch of the guys that are still on the team.
He went to the Final Four with them, as we mentioned, and unfortunately he lost in the semifinal game to Ferris State a few seasons ago when it was played in Tampa Bay. We were reminded of that when we were there. There's a shot. Grosenick to save. Rebound. Kick save. Rebound. Arm save. And cleared into the corner. Couture trying to get it out as Grosenick continues to battle. Boy, is he a battler. And that's the end of the second period as he keeps it scoreless with a great sequence of saves in the final seconds of the middle period.
You called it, battler. And that's exactly what he is. In the waning seconds of the second period, one save, there's two more saves. That last one was beautiful to keep the Sharks up 1-0 at the end of two. And there's a look at Troy Grosenick. Well-deserved high five as he heads to the dressing room.
That is it for 40 minutes of action here in Carolina. It's the Sharks 1 and the Hurricanes 0. Brody Brazil and Curtis Brown standing by with our Ram Intermission Report. They'll look around the NHL on this Sunday, and then Jamie and I are back with second period highlights.
Sharks Hockey on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Bay Area Mini.
Little barbecue on the grill there, and there's Troy Grosenick getting set for the third period. The Sharks up 1-0 on the road here against the Carolina Hurricanes. Tomas Hertl's goal late in the first period at 18:46, his fourth of the year. The only goal scored so far in the game. What do you think the chatter was in the dressing room, Jamie?
I think they want to be more in attack mode, be aggressive, play more in the offensive zone. Get pucks out, watch out for turnovers around their own blue line and in the neutral zone, and finish this thing off.
Kennedy in front for Marleau, and he couldn't catch it, and here's Gerby now. He leads everybody in the game with 6 shots on goal, Nathan Gerby, and this one will drift high over the glove of Grosenick. Another puck toward the net, gloved ahead by Braun, and now Kennedy again for the Sharks. Sorry.
I was going to say shift changes will also be very key here. Probably for both teams, back-to-back games, but in particular the Sharks have been playing a lot of road hockey.
We talked about both these teams playing yesterday and rolling the lines to some extent, and you look at the ice time so far through 2 periods, and it reflects that. Desjardins played almost 10 minutes. Adam Burish on that line, same, about 9:44. And so far, Todd McClelland's been able to do that in this game with a lead.
Potentially shorten the bench a little bit if need be here in the third.
Mueller got a little crossed up there with Joe Thornton. And now Carolina will come ahead as Boychuk sends it in, and the Canes pressing here now in this third period to get on the board in front of their home fans.
You know, he's still prone to make mistakes, as is everybody, but Mueller, but I'm still impressed by his poise out there. He makes some calm, confident plays.
Grosenick with the save off the wrist shot. And we'll have a face-off in San Jose territory. 1.5 minutes gone here in the third period. Sharks will fly right after the game to Buffalo, and they'll get in there at a decent hour because of the early start here in Carolina. And then a day of recouping tomorrow after the difficult back-to-backs. And then they'll face off for a second time this season against Buffalo, and the Sharks ought to have a lot of motivation in that final game of the trip, not only to close out the trip well, but to pay back the Sabres for that loss at home to Buffalo last month.
Go! Go!
Of course, we'll bring you that game from Buffalo, the climax of this road trip. 4 o'clock pregame live Pacific Standard Time on Tuesday, and then the play-by-play right after 4:30 from Buffalo.
Still early in the year, they're closing out some of the teams. We're not going to see Columbus again this year. We won't see Buffalo again after Tuesday night.
Grosenick with the glove save as the Hurricanes come out here to start the third period, and they're putting pucks on the net, but so far Troy Grosenick solid in goal now with 33 saves, as he has, we mentioned, many family in attendance here at the game in Carolina tonight. or to this afternoon for those of you in the Bay Area at least. It's officially nighttime here. I think anything after 5 o'clock is nighttime, right?
Is that where the...
I think that's the official designation.
When we actually draw the line in the sand?
That's it. 5 p.m. local, it's night, so we can call it a night. Justin Falk pressured, gets it across. Andre Sekera. Now Malone accelerates. McGinn stays with him. The centering pass got to the crease. Back to Sekera. That's blocked. Drops in front and out to Desjardins. He got his head up just as he was checked by Sekera. Puck out, but a quick re-entry planned here by Carolina. As Grosenick slows it down, Jay McClements there in the corner for Carolina, battling with Justin Braun. Couture now, and he'll just flip one up through center ice and gets a good bounce to Marleau. Patrick Marleau, and he wanted Couture, broke it up at the line. Back come the Carolina Hurricanes. Marleau back checking, trying to catch up to Dwyer, and he does, but Dwyer gets the puck away. Now Hainsey at the point, slowed down by Kennedy. Out of the corner, Dwyer again. Now the puck to the crease, and Grosenick had the paddle down, hit the shaft of his stick, and the Sharks come through center as Mueller kicks it across the line.
San Jose still spending a little bit too much time in the defensive zone. Carolina showing a lot of movement in the offensive zone, forcing communication and switches.
Well, join Alex Stalock at the Los Gatos Comerica Banking Center coming up on Friday, November 21st. Alex is going to be there at the Comerica Bank in Los Gatos from 3:30 to 4:30 that afternoon for a Reading is Cool presented by Comerica Bank Book Drive. So bring your new or gently used books to that book drive at Comerica Bank in Los Gatos. Here's a chance for the Sharks. Tomas Hertl trying to reach Joe Pavelski with a pass. Thornton to Demers. Rebound. And it's out of play. Jason Demers bidding for his first goal of the year. Coming down that right side.
Well, we're going to keep an eye on Demers. He just slides into the high slot area, takes the pass. Not sure what that went off, but that's a good read from Jason Demers. Nice pass, of course, from Thornton. Hertl and Pavelski going to the front of the net. The refs and linesmen, I think they're trying to figure out who the puck deflected off, which determines the faceoff. And I think it might have went off Hertl, faceoff outside the blue line.
Demers had 4 shots yesterday in Columbus. 3 assists on the year. He's on 98 career points.
When he's playing his best, he's active in the offensive zone, creating some scoring chances. He struggled in the first 10, 12 games getting pucks to the net. Sharks need him to get some confidence and he'll contribute offensively as it goes on. He's going to play good in the defensive zone too.
Well, you're right, and Todd McLellan talked about that today, specifically about Demers, that they've really asked him to focus on his defensive game here early in the year. The feeling being exactly what you said. Sort that end of things out, and the rest will come.
It'll come. Take care of itself. First of all, you play better in the defensive zone. You're going to spend less time there. You're going to get more looks in the offensive zone.
He gets it back down to Hertl, and now Hertl tried to work it for Thornton. Demers up the boards again. Eric Stahl gets it to center, and now it's Boychuk. Drop pass for Talusti. Back for Stahl, and poked out of there by Pavelski. Thornton trying to track it down, but Gleason's able to work it back for Boychuk.
Smart play by Pavelski. He's at the end of the shift. He's tired. Puts himself in perfect position. Breaks up that pass.
Goodrow. And that's gobbled up by Gleason, but then the Sharks are able to get it back ahead. Now McClement sends it in, and Grosenick, a rare rebound for him. I think he was trying to work that to one of his teammates, but there was a Carolina attacker in the area. Could have been trouble, but the Sharks get away with it. As Khudobin swings it to the other side of the ice. Vlasic there. That's off a stick. Sharks get back on side as Wingles comes down this side. Tommy Wingles leans in on Lyles. Plays it back out. McGinn's there. Nice play by Wingles. Took the hit afterwards, too.
Drives wide, gets his feet moving, gets the puck deep, and takes a hit to make a play.
McGinn back for Wingles. He'll skate away from Lyles. Give it for McGinn, and he'll wrist it deep. to Desjardins, bracing himself for the hit from Gleason that came. And now it's cleared by Carolina down the ice. No icing call, deflected off a Shark player evidently.
You go back to that play by Wingels. It seems really simple, but there have been the two previous occurrences. The Sharks had the puck in the neutral zone. Two guys, one of them was a veteran guy, didn't get the puck deep. You got to keep it simple in games like this if you're a little bit tired. And you're up 1-0 on the road.
And Carolina offside at the San Jose line. Chris Terry on the wrong end of that call. Tommy Wingels with some nice work for the Sharks here in the third period. Here's a franchise profile look at these Carolina Hurricanes, who were originally the New England Whalers in the WHA, became one of the 4 teams along with Quebec, Edmonton, and Winnipeg that were brought into the merger with the NHL in '79, and then relocated here in '97, went to 2 cups and won their only cup in 2006.
Trying to bring back some of those glory days.
Of course, Quebec went to Colorado. Edmonton stayed put. Winnipeg went to Phoenix and then got the Atlanta franchise back. And there's the Stanley Cup banner from that 05-06 season. Shark alum Ray Whitney part of that team as well, as they defeated the Edmonton Oilers in 7 games.
Artur Zerbe was the goaltender in 2002 when they went to the Stanley Cup and lost to Detroit. It swept that year.
Another former Shark played in that game, Todd Harvey. It was his last NHL game. Can you imagine losing Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final to end your career? Very famous picture of Todd Harvey after that game in the Oilers dressing room, and if you look it up on the Google machine, you can find it somewhere, and it kind of tells the story of the desolation and the disappointment of course, it doesn't matter if your last game in your career is that game. Perhaps he didn't know it would be, but to lose Game 7, heartbreaking.
It just seems also weird that you're part of a team that goes to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final and you can't find a spot the next year.
That was it. Chance in front here and dangerously through the goal crease with Tulowitzki right in front on that feed from Eric Stahl.
Too late.
Braun, and that one skips wide. As Justin Falk will work it up for Sekera. Andre Sekera took his eye off the puck for a moment. Hurdle poked it away. Here's Pavelski, and Khudobin with the save.
Good save by Khudobin. He read that perfectly.
Only the 16th shot on goal of the game for the Sharks.
Not a lot of flow to the third period. That works perfectly into the hands of the away team that's leading 1-0.
Sharks showed us in Tampa they were able to protect a 1-goal lead against the Lightning. They shut them down in the third period. See if they can harness that energy and that effort here in the third period in Carolina. Looking to get back to 500 on the trip. Right now they're 2 wins, 3 losses so far on this journey. Good extra effort by James Shepherd to work it back into the Kane zone. Now Carolina comes ahead. Rask, he's bumped off the puck. And it's back into Carolina zone again. Tim Gleason for John Michael Lyles.
Carolina's spreading out, but they're standing around in the neutral zone. So San Jose, if their first forechecker just influences or forces them up one side or the other, it's allowing 2 or 3 Sharks to collapse very quickly in the neutral zone. They're doing a good job.
Icing here. These teams will meet once more. That'll be in the Bay Area on February 7th when the Canes are out west.
This is what the Hockey News said about Carolina regarding their intangibles. It's hard to point to any area here that's a strength for the Hurricanes. The leadership has been suspect. They lack toughness, and an air of entitlement permeates the dressing room despite the playoff drought of 5 years. In the absence of major changes, installing a real sense of accountability is Coach Bill Peters' biggest challenge. I read that this morning. Wow, they got some work to do here. And that's exactly what Ron Francis, Rob Brindamore, Bill Peters, that's their task. Changing the culture, some accountability for the players.
Hainsey to Boychuk on the wing. Vlasic there, plays it behind the net. Now Tulowitzki. He's been their most dangerous goal scorer this year out on the ice here in the third period. Fired behind the net. And Braun coming into contact with one of the Carolina forwards there. Fans felt there should have been a penalty call, but there is none as Grosnick makes the save.
And you talk about some of the accountability. Alexander Salmon, he's injured today. He's not playing in the game, but in 13 games this year, he's got 5 assists. He's -6, and he's in year 2 of a 5-year, $35 million contract. And he was a healthy scratch one game. Bill Peters, healthy scratch, and Ron Francis came out in the media and supported his coach in that situation. And that was, you know what, for the younger guys on the team, that's the beginning of that accountability, and nobody's entitled in this organization. And that's what they're trying to do here, talking to people around this Hurricanes hockey team.
And a lot of speculation that Eric Stahl may be on the trade block or be available. Of course, denied by the team. Here's Thornton now. Back for Burns, and he fires a hard shot through. Back to Thornton. Joe will get it behind the net to Hertl. Tomash reversing for Thornton. Hertl goes to the net. The pass in the goal crease and broken up.
Not sure if Thornton was passing to Hertl, who was coming in from the slot, or Pavelski was coming in from behind the net.
2-on-2 as the Canes attack, and Burns closes the door. Back to Mirko Mueller as both teams make changes up the ice. There's 10 minutes left here in the third period. Sharks still lead 1-0 on the Hertl goal from back in the first period. Burns gives it away. Skinner shot it wide. Boy, he really missed.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Kennedy with speed through the middle. Attacks with Couture. They're offside. And will step aside. 1-0 San Jose. We'll be back in Carolina.
Who loves to score? Tomas Hertl, that's who. 2-on-1 going back to the first period. Gets his second chance, and we're going to give that our Ram shot of the game. And that's it, folks. There's the smile. Tomas Hertl, his 4th of the year. That's the only goal we've seen in this evening's contest. He's having a chat there with Pavelski on the bench.
First round pick of the Sharks in 2012, won 17th overall. And then had that just phenomenal start to the season, the 4-goal game against the Rangers last year, only to have it shortened by the hit by Dustin Brown, knee on knee. Played 37 games, 25 points. And forget, still a very young man as the shot from Boychuk deflects wide. Hertl, just as we said, turned 21 this past week.
It would have been a 2-man race, if you will, or a 2-kid race for the Calder.
Yep.
Between Hertl and Nathan MacKinnon. Meanwhile, Jeff Skinner, he just edged out of the Hurricanes. Logan Couture a few years ago for the same trophy. There we get a look at Tomas Hertl. He's got to focus on some defense here in the last 10 minutes of this game.
Top line on for Carolina here in the third period as they try and break through on the San Jose Sharks, up 1-0. The Sharks are, and this one's off Marc-Edouard Vlasic's stick, back up onto the San Jose bench.
Smart play by Vlasic, though, joining the rush there. Just a missed pass from Thornton. You don't see it very often. Joe Pavelski, he leads the team in face-off percentage, a little over 56%. One of the top face-off men in the NHL. Jay McClement for Carolina is also, he's 4th in the NHL in face-off percentage coming into tonight.
Falk and Thornton able to chase it back out. Lifts up Stahl's stick. And now Sekera. And as you might imagine, when you haven't scored a goal in a home game and it's in the third period, the building's a little quiet, and it is. Vlasic puts on the brakes, gives it to Joe Thornton. Braun's up top. He'll shoot and have it blocked. Can be dangerous, but it ricocheted over to Thornton. Now Hertl behind the net. Lost his footing. Pavelski there to help recover. Comes up the near boards, and Boychuk, a nice play, got it away from Braun, and then Braun recovered with a nice play.
Just great speed by Braun, but then he just reached in and kind of swept that puck back.
It's that first step of Braun's now. It's different than it was last year. He's a more explosive skater. Desjardins and Burish down low. They're just happy to take time off the clock here, grind it out. Lewis leaning hard on that puck with his skate.
Fans are getting restless, and the Sharks like, this is fine, we'll do this.
Puck's actually loose. Now it's back in the scrum.
They're trying to, looks like they're trying to step on it there. It's an old wily veteran move. A good look. That's hockey's version of a rugby scrum.
Now Carolina on the attack. That's wide of the net. Gerby, he'll fire one wide.
San Jose's got a little desperation to their defensive game. They haven't given, this period is the least amount of quality grade A scoring chances that they've given up.
Burns throws it up the middle to Skinner. In front, swept away by Burns.
And Burns can't make that pass. Not in the neutral zone. Not with just a 1-0 lead in the third.
Now from behind the net to Lyles. He'll punch one to the goal. Grosnick a save. Skinner checked by Burns. And Couture with a stick lift gets it away and safely up for Tyler Kennedy. He'll bank pass it for Marleau. Patrick able to get to it first.
That's a smart play there. Veteran play by Kennedy. Keep it simple, and if the pass works, great.
Couture and the shot by Irwin wide. Demers. That drops in the slot. Right to the defenseman Belmore. Now Talusti skates by Shepard, who lost his stick. Talusti a spinorama play. Talusti still with it. Hanging on to the puck. Feeds it across. Shot saved by Grosnick as it came hard to the net from Boychuk on the wrister.
Well, we saw some nifty footwork and hands there from Talusti. Nice save by Grosnick.
Kept in. Here's Wingles. 2-on-1 down low. Backhand. Khudobin the save. Keeps them in it with a big stop off Tommy Wingles. Ahead for Shepard. Trying to reach out and corral it. Goodrow hard off the stick of Wingles. And now Vlasic forced to turn against the speedy Gerby to the side of the goal. Grosnick got a piece of it. Gerby back on it. Switches up to Lyles. Back up top for Sekera. Andre Sekera leans back, shoots, looking for a tip, but it deflects to Shepard, and he'll lift it clear as the Sharks will get a line change.
Yeah, that was Goodrow, though, blocking that shot. We've seen him pick up an assist. He's drawn a penalty. That's a big time block shot for a tired forward unit.
Pavelski can't knock it down in the neutral zone. Burns will send it back ahead for Thornton, but off him to Nash. Here's Nash. Fires. Grosnick glove save. He'll hold it there. 5:21 to go in the third. Still a 1-0 San Jose lead. Well, coming up on Sportsnet Central on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area tonight at 10:30. 49ers big win over the Giants earlier today. Highlights from that. Also reaction from the Raiders and the Chargers this afternoon, and a Warriors-Lakers recap, as well as everything from here in Carolina tonight at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Time for our Toyota game summary. Troy Grosnick making his NHL debut in goal for the San Jose Sharks here this afternoon / this evening in Carolina. And he has been outstanding from the first period on when he stopped 16 shots. And it's just been more of the same since then. Troy Grosnick with 38 saves and 5:21 left to go in this game. The Sharks' only goal coming from Tomas Hertl, his 4th of the year. And that's where we stand now with this faceoff in the San Jose zone. Sharks have not been particularly good in the faceoff circle today. 38% as this bouncer comes to Khudobin. Hainsey working against Hertl. Now Pavelski behind the net. Leaned on by Falk. Thornton. Hertl faces the net, shoots, and it ramps up high off the glass. Great playmaking by Joe Thornton there from behind the net. Braun trying to knock Skinner off the puck, and he does. Stahl. Wide. And that one goes off Hertl's stick, then glances off Grosnick's. Here's a chance on a backhand bid and block. Another shot just wide as Vlasic will rim it around and out. Things getting crazy here in the final 4.5 minutes in Carolina. Skinner will lob it in and head off on a change. Nash after it, but it's banked around by Mueller. Now Marleau on the boards, and he fires it across the ice, out of play. And it'll stay just inside the zone, or will it come outside on the face?
Yeah, I think it's going to come out. That was deflected off one of the Carolina. That thing went out about the 14th row into the stands. Todd Kellen keeping an eye on. Look, I thought he was looking at their bench. He was watching the referee go down, fix the net at the far end. There's always one of the coaches on the Sharks bench. They're keeping an eye on the opponent's bench, who's going to be up next. A lot of time it's Jay Woodcroft, and then he'll notify the coach just from line matchup standpoint.
Kennedy sends it in on a tip, and now Nash for Carolina. Checked by Couture.
I like Kennedy's game tonight. Just simple, lots of energy.
Sekera. He's got Terry on the wing, and Grosenick will dive out of his crease to cover that up. And now Mueller didn't like something Terry did on his way by to his goalie. And Grosenick takes his mask off, and he's a little shaken up. I think Terry made contact with his stick on the mask of Grosenick.
We'll get a better look from this angle. Terry's just, they're going to throw the puck to the net. And there's the slash right there.
It was actually the leg of Mueller, in fact, that hit him in the head, but that was after Terry kind of slashed at his gloves. Every face-off in the Shark zone, huge here now.
Ref was right there in the corner, too. You saw that.
Desjardins wins the draw, and Irwin gets it up to Shepard and out to center. Lindholm fires it back in, but right to the stick of Matt Irwin. That's jammed up the boards. By McGinn, or by Shepard. Now it's center Vlasic looking for Desjardins as he cut across the blue line.
Sharks content to have 4 guys in the neutral zone, kind of a 1-2-2 formation.
Skinner knocked off balance just a bit. And Hurdle trying to place it into an area for Pavelski, but it's gobbled back up again.
Yeah, good zone entry by Skinner, but Vlasic to the rescue. Made a great defensive play.
On Hainsey. There's Terry back for Tulosti. A shot and a glove save by Grosenick. The rebound. Batted away. Kept in by the Canes to the net. Saved by Grosenick. Tulosti a bid, and that was deflected wide.
The thing that sticks out with Grosenick, he is really quick.
Kept in by Sekera. Backs up to the line. Throws it to the net wide. Thornton on the near boards, and he gets it to Justin Braun. He'll play it off the glass and out with 2:25 to go. Quick re-entry. Boychuk backhands it wide of the goal. Couture's there for the Sharks. Lost his stick. Gerby had a chance to make a play. Now icing waved off on a tip as this will go all the way back.
Sharks will take that.
Now as the Canes come up ice, probably getting to that area soon where we're going to see Khudobin lead the net as Burns got the hit there. That gets a reaction from the crowd as he knocked down Nash. Mueller in front of his net, plays it across. Now Marleau to this side for Tyler Kennedy. Kennedy back for Patrick Marleau. Trying to keep that puck deep if he can, but Gerby took it away. Hainsey back across. Nathan Gerby sends it back. Back to Gerby. Pressured again. This time it's Desjardins in the zone. Hainsey and the Canes just struggling a bit to come up the ice here. Now Eric Stahl comes up, but lost the puck. Here's Shepard in the zone for the Sharks. Trying to get it to the net, or draw a penalty, or just kill time. Irwin fought it a bit. He has to jam it back ahead, and now he's got to defend as Skinner was busting toward the San Jose zone. Here it is in front, and blocked in front. Might have been saved. Another shot, glove saved by Grosenick. Here's Wingels, and he'll play it out as the net's empty, and there's a minute left in the game.
A good save by Grosenick, and then a good clear by Tommy Wingels.
Lyles for Sekera. He'll play it in for Tulosti. Checked by Braun. And toward the open net, but wide by Joe Thornton, and that will be icing with 45.3 seconds to go. And you get a feeling somebody's going to take a timeout here.
In this situation, it could be either coach, Todd McClellan, if he thinks his guys are tired because it's an icing, or it could be Bill Peters. He wants to set up an offensive zone faceoff.
Make sure to stay tuned for Esher and Sharks post-game live with Brody Brazil, Curtis Brown, and Kevin Kurz. Brett Hedican chiming in here as well from Carolina, as it is the Canes who take their timeout. So everybody gets a rest. Carolina gets a chance to draw up a play on what they hope will be a tying goal.
No rest for the family, though.
Oh,
just
my goodness.
adds more intrigue. Scott and Jan, that's also known as Dad and Mom. Brother Sean is here, fiance Maggie, and they're not dancing. They're nervous. They all flew in today for the game.
Troy Grosenick, if you've just joined us, making his NHL debut here tonight in Carolina for the San Jose Sharks. His first ever game at the NHL level, and there are 45 seconds left to go. Here's a shot by Falk, a screaming drive as they cleanly won the faceoff. Now Tulosti down behind the San Jose net. The Canes net is empty down at the other end. Eric Stahl trying to get it to the goal. Here's a shot by Skinner, and Grosenick made the save and covers the rebound.
Well, why wouldn't he? He's been making one save after another all night. And he still looks like he's got all kinds of energy. There's a shot from the top of the circle. And Grosenick comes out, makes the save, no rebound. That's the 45th shot of the game for the Hurricanes. They're shooting San Jose 45-18.
Joe Thornton against Riley Nash. Sharks need a face-off win here. A scramble as they tie up. Puck kicked into the corner by Nash. Here's Skinner trying to get away from Braun and Thornton. Puck up in the air, batted down with a high stick. Stays in the zone. Lindholm a shot. That kicks out. Pavelski will jam it ahead. Here's Joe Thornton with the empty net. The Sharks will score. And there's 7.3 seconds left. 2-0 San Jose. Well, Troy Grosenick was challenged down at the other end. Came up with some big saves even in the late stages of this third period. And the Sharks battle to get the insurance goal. Joe Thornton with the empty net, his 7th of the year. 5 seconds to go. Puck played to center ice, down into the Canes zone, and it's over. And Troy Grosenick, in his National Hockey League debut, has a shutout. 45 saves for the rookie goaltender. His family is beside themselves. His teammates elated as the Sharks win, and he's the first Sharks goalie to record a shutout and win in his NHL debut. The final score from here in Carolina, the Sharks 2, Carolina 0. And Sharks postgame live starts right now.